Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, babies in their diapers, welcome to the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
That's me, Tiberius. Today we're going to talk about some very awesome stuff. We have a new shooter video game to talk about, a book about a kid that survived the Japanese tsunami, and we have a totally awesome guest. Today we have the one, the only, the amazing Shy Flowers. Shy is a probation officer and is the founder at the Factory of Self, Inc.
Hello, everybody. I am Shy Flowers. Shy is a nickname. Shauna is my first name, but I prefer to be called Shy Flowers.
So today we're going to start off with a video of the week, and this is going to be a shootout.
And now it's time for the video game of the week.
Today's video game is Rapulus.io. This is not a game on the Roblox platform. It was made by .ski. This is a cool game that is a shooter game in multiplayer. You can play it with your browser. So first off, I got into the game, and it was kind of cool, and there was this button, and it said play. And when I pressed it, it put me into a game, and then you have to either get a flag, or kill people, or free-for-all. You can change your character for only the colors, though. Also, there are different guns and fragments that either blow up, or heal you, or shoots out fire. My favorite gun is a combat rifle, and a secondary weapon is a submachine gun, otherwise called as the SMG. Then my favorite map/game mode is the CTP, because you get to defend, but also capture the flag also. I give Rapulus.io 10 out of 10 stars because it was really a fast-paced game and they don't take all day to play. It was actually really fun to go against other people. And I think anyone that likes fighting should really play this game.
Wow, it sounds very interesting. I'm all for it.
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties. Contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of their dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering to trophies and awards. The cool part about Custom Designs is they can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373 and tell them that
Tiberius
sent you.
Now it's time for the book of the week. And the book is I Survived the Japanese Tsunami 2011. This book is written by Lauren Tarshish. Let me read you the back of the book. In fact, Shy, would you like to do the honors?
Absolutely. The disaster felt around the world. Visiting his dad's hometown in Japan 4 months after his father's death would be hard enough for Ben. But one morning, the pain turns to fear. First, a massive earthquake rocks the quiet coastal village, nearly toppling his uncle's house. Then the ocean waters rise and Ben and his family are swept away and pulled apart by a terrible tsunami. Now Ben is alone, stranded in a strange country 1,000,000 miles from home. Can he fight hard enough to survive one of the most epic disasters of all time?
Well, this is an error book and it's worth 2 whole points. This book is for 4th grade and 6th month. And this is a good series about disasters that happened 10 years ago. So there was a boy named Ben and his little brother Harry and his mom. Ben's father had died from a car accident. Next, the family was going to Shohogima to go see Ben and Harry's uncle, or in Japanese, Oji-san. Then, when all seemed happy, the ground was shaking. Earthquake! Said Oji-san. Then, Ben and Harry act expeditiously as Mom and Oji-san go to do something to protect themselves. Next, after the earthquake, they got out of the house, and then they got into a car because they saw a tsunami, but Ben falls off, and then Ben is stuck, and the water's up to his chin. Oh no. What should Ben do? Because he's stuck in the car.
Wow.
And the doors are shut, and the locks don't work, and they were locked.
Panicking. He's probably panicking right
and
now.
I know what to do. I know what he does, but I'm not going to tell you guys because I want you to go to read the book yourself.
Oh,
if you want to figure out what happened. Well, I give I Survived the Japanese Tsunami 2011 10 out of 10 stars because it was such a good story and I was able to finish it in 2 days. And it was my birth year.
Wow. That's cool. Awesome. I definitely think I'll get that book from my godson.
See David Smith Law.com.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
Wait, you are not Chuck.
My dad can help when people get hurt. He loves to help people.
If you are ever injured at work or in a car accident, you should call my friend Chuck.
You can call him at 407-801-2667.
The website again is cwsmithlaw.com.
Offices, Orlando.
Does it actually have that much W's?
Mid-State Fire has been providing top-quality fire equipment services for 3 generations to the Central Florida area. Don't wait for an emergency to repair. Call Mid-State Fire today at 407-246-8855. Get your fire extinguishers and emergency lighting for both your home and businesses by visiting www.midstatefire.com. That number again is 407-246-8855. And now it's time for the interview of an interesting person. Today's just is going to be so much fun. Today we have the one, the only, the amazing Shy Flowers. Shy is a probation officer and is the founder of the Factory of Self, Inc.
Hello, everybody. I am Shauna Shy Flowers. And like he said, I'm the founder of the Factory of Self. Self stands for support, education, leadership, and focus.
Okay. So first off, how are you enjoying being on the show?
I think it's amazing. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so I have to ask. You have been with the juvenile probation officer with the Department of Juvenile Justice for over 6 years.
That's right.
Well, what exactly does a probation officer, do?
Dun, dun, dun. Well, a probation officer is pretty much, I always say, like a case manager. So we're given these intake files with different youth who have committed crimes allegedly, and we pretty much have to supervise the case. If they're placed on probation, we would pretty much supervise their every move while on probation.
Okay, well, what is probation?
So probation is pretty much, I would say, you can think of it as some type of rehabilitation, kind of a time frame that the judge give a client to serve pretty much their for their actions. If they're found guilty, they're given X amount of time to pretty much be on lockdown, but you're still out in the community, able to go and do different things, but you're given sanctions, which are pretty much requirements that you have to complete by the end of your probation. So it could range from community service to writing an apology letter to paying back restitution, which is money if there's a victim in a case where a client has stolen from them or damaged some of their property. They would be responsible for paying that victim back.
Okay. Well, what is the best part about being a juvenile probation officer?
I would definitely say being able to help someone become a better person. I always say you may have made a mistake, but there's still time for you to change your actions for the better to be a productive citizen.
Okay. Well, why did you decide that this was the job for you?
I love working with youth. It's amazing. I think, growing up, having my mom, different people in the community to help with me, being my pillar, I think it's definitely something that I want to do, give back to youth and to help them.
Well, what is the difference between being a juvenile probation officer versus just a probation officer?
Well, the difference is you're working with youth that are under the age of 19. So 19 and under. So at 19, it's pretty much jurisdiction is lost. We don't deal with 19-year-olds and up. Okay, so it's pretty much everybody that's underage and still pretty much being supervised and under a parent's care or guardian's care. Adult probation is exactly what it is. It's adults. So I don't work with adults.
Okay.
I don't supervise adults, should I say. My coworkers are adults, but,
Well, do you need a lot of training to do this job?
Well, you do have to have a bachelor's degree in order to obtain this position. 4 years. 4 years of college. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, what is the most rewarding part about your job?
I would say actually seeing the fruits of my labor. Watching kids successfully complete probation, going off to college for some, finding jobs for others, and just being a better person overall. I think that's the most rewarding part because a lot of them give me a hard time.
I think I can tell.
Yeah,
Because I think I give my parents a pretty hard time. Well, what is the hardest part about being a juvenile probation officer?
The hardest part is actually probably seeing some of my kids end up becoming adults and they end up in the adult system. So pretty much we've unfortunately had to send some youth off to probation, not probation, but commitment. Commitment is pretty much a program that some of the youth go to after they've had chance after chance after chance to get it right, and it just still doesn't work for them in the community. So we send them off to a program. Some of them come out and do very well, but some of them come out and end up becoming adult offenders, and then now they're in the adult system. So that's the part that,
It's sad.
And then some youth are adult foul. You know what that is? When they're adult foul? So it's pretty much when they commit an offense, and instead of them going through the juvenile system, they will go through the adult system. They're viewed as an adult, which the consequences to that is a little more.
Dang. Well, why?
Well, the charges, it just depends on the type of charges they've committed. So if they've committed a felony like a murder or something, not all the time they would be able to be charged as a juvenile. So,
That would just be...
So it is best that you always listen to your parents, listen to your teachers, listen to those that have the best interest of you at heart, because they're only trying to tell you what's good for you. So what happens when youth don't listen to their parents, they listen to their friends more so than their parents, then the friends just want to have fun and do crazy things, right? But those crazy things can cause them to end up on probation as a juvenile and possibly as an adult.
Well, what did you want to be when you were a child? Did you always know that you really wanted to work in criminal justice?
I actually wanted to be a pediatrician. So I always had the heart for babies and youth and just, people in general. So I did not want to be a probation officer at first, but I always had a heart for something dealing with children, yes.
Well, what is the craziest thing that has happened while you were doing your passion?
Wow, so many things. I would probably say when I went out to do what we call a sweep. And it's where we go out and do curfew checks. And if the children are not home, we'll just mark it down and end up violating them. So one particular night we went out, I was with Orange County Sheriff's Department, which was the JAM unit. They work with at-risk youth. And we were at a home, and one of the children jumped out the window running from us. And I went to chasing after him, and then I said, wait, I'm just a probation officer. I shouldn't be chasing after him. So it was like, yeah, this is not, I just took my job a little too far. My job doesn't consist of chasing after kids. So that, I think that was the most, craziest part of my job.
It's like you're hesitating for a moment, and I'm like, just...
Yeah, it's like, no, wait a minute. What am I doing? Wait a
minute. I'm just a probation officer.
I could just violate them at the office, right? Not law enforcement. My job doesn't consist of running after people. No, absolutely not.
I guess so. Okay, so you started a nonprofit called the Factory of Self. Well, can you tell me more about that?
Sure can. So the Factory of Self, again, self standing for support, education, leadership, and focus. It is a nonprofit organization, but we do mentoring. So mentoring youth, just pretty much providing life skills to the youth. We do an 8-week program once a year. And we pretty much talk about topics like education. We do self-esteem, so self-care, self-image, self-identity. And one of the programs is called the Teen Identity Project. So that's where we take teens from the age of 13 to 19. And we pretty much help them to find their true identity. So that is what we do for the teens. And then we have a Princess Tea where we deal with little girls for ages 6 to 12. And we do one topic on that particular day. And it's just somewhere probably around February or March. And we would do one day with the little girls, and we would do one topic with them. More than likely, it'll be something like self-esteem, or we may do bad touch, good touch. We'll talk about different things, but we would just choose one particular topic. And then we do have workshops that we do for all family members, because we do believe that if you work with the youth, you can't forget about their parents and their uncles or aunts and whoever else take care of them. So we pretty much help the whole family in some way, provide resources for them.
Well, why is the work of this organization important to you?
It's important to me because I want to give back. I feel that it's important to educate people, provide resources so everyone have the tools that they need to be successful in life.
What is the greatest achievement in life?
My greatest achievement in life would be seeing that I've made a difference in someone else's life, especially my teen girls from 2014, the year 2014, seeing some of those youth turn into adults and seeing what they're doing with their lives. I think that's like my greatest achievement, because that's something that I've always wanted to do.
Well, who will motivate or inspire you the most in following your dreams?
I would definitely say my mom, my Aunt Marie, and my Aunt Earlene. Those three women were definitely inspirations to me, motivated me to be who I am today.
Well, what advice would you give my listeners if they wanted to grow up and be a probation officer?
I would definitely just say go to school for your 4 years, criminal justice if you possibly can, or social work, and apply for the job. Or before just applying for the job, but try to get some experience at Boys and Girls Clubs, just something working with you. And then that way you can put that on the application when you do apply for the job.
Okay, well, if you could go back 10 years and tell yourself something, what would it be?
It would possibly be, I would probably say travel the world more, because I didn't start traveling until 2016. Not Japan. Don't go to Japan. I'm just kidding.
That's just funny. Well, what is the biggest mistake you ever made, and how did it change you as a person?
I would say, I don't even know if this is a mistake, but I would say when I was in college and I would hear different people tell me to write essays and to apply for scholarships, and I did not want to. I'd rather take out a loan instead. I'm now going through the process of paying back loans, and now I understand why they said write the essays, do whatever,
That
the
does count as a
requirements are.
mistake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does count as a mistake. I should have listened. See?
Yeah, that's a mistake. But when you are not working, what do you do for fun?
I love hanging out with my family and friends. We love playing Uno. Oh,
please,
that game
no.
is just amazing.
Reverse, 2 plus 2, skip
Draw
you,
4.
skip you,
Oh,
draw
yeah.
4. And there's like, and then the other's like, you're the one who wanted to play the game.
Right, yeah. But I love Uno. So just having fun with family and friends. It doesn't have to be much. We can just do a game night or movie night.
Well, do you play video games, and what is your favorite one?
Well, actually, I don't play video games.
Not
but
even on your phone? That makes you think a little.
Let me see. I know there's what is one with the jewels or something. I don't really know if that's really considered.
Candy Crush?
Candy Crush. That's not
Yeah,
really
it
considered.
counts.
It does count.
Yeah,
Wow.
it
Okay. Well, I guess it does count. I guess I do play video games.
Okay, so what is your favorite book to read?
Oh, wow. Well, I do read a lot of educational books. I've been reading going back over some nonprofit management books.
Okay. Now can you tell me that one story? Remember, this is a kid show, but that one story, well, that you're not supposed to tell me about. Come on, you can tell me.
Uh-oh. I don't know. This could be embarrassing. I don't know. The one story that I'm not supposed to tell you about. Uh-oh.
Remember, it's a kid show.
Let's just say, don't sneak out your parents' house. Someone may be watching. And you
I
get
know
in
someone
trouble.
who's always watching. The Lord.
That is so true. And the neighbors. Especially the nosy neighbor across the street, possibly, or down the street that hardly ever sleeps.
And it's like, the Lord. Well, is there anything else you think my listeners should know about you?
I don't know. Probably that I love singing, love karaoke. Oh. Awesome.
Well, do you have a website or Facebook for my listeners that want to follow you?
I do. I have Facebook. I'm on Facebook as Shy Flowers. And the factory itself, the website is www.thefactoryofself.org.
Maybe we can try and text each other, because I also have Facebook.
Oh, awesome.
And personal.
Okay, cool.
So it's just me. Well, what is that one question that you think I forgot to ask you?
You forgot to ask me where was my favorite destination when I traveled.
Well, where was your favorite destination when you traveled?
It wasn't Japan. I'll tell you that much. But I'll say it was Thailand.
Okay.
Oh, Phuket, Thailand.
I thought it was going to be Vietnam. It's like everything is like cheap, but it's so good.
Yeah, Thailand was definitely an inexpensive place. It was amazing.
I think I could too. Oh.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Well, thank you, Shy, for being my special guest. Can you stick around for Math Corners?
Absolutely.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank Boggy Creek Airboat Adventures for being one of our sponsors. I got to go on an airboat and saw a real gator. I even got to go to the gem mine and mine for some gems. We ate a steak dinner at the restaurant and even got some gator rights. If you want to have a blast with the entire family, I suggest you go to www.bcairboats.com right now. Get your tickets today. The website again is bcairboats.com. Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service. And firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com.
Tiberius' favorite subject, it's Math Corners!
Thank you, Shy, for helping me with Math Corners. Today, we're going to talk about multiplying a decimal by a decimal. Okay, so there are 3 steps needed for this action. You might remember them from a few weeks ago. Let's say we have 7.05 times 1.5. First, you would multiply as you would with a whole number. So 705 times 15 would be 10,575. Second, you count the total number of decimal places in your factors. In this case, you have 7.05, which has 2 decimal places. And then you have the 1.5, which has 1 decimal place, making the total of 3 decimal places. And third, you move the decimal point in the product 1 place to the left for each decimal place you counted. So since there were 3 decimal places, we take the 10,575 and add the 3 decimal places, and then we get 10.575, which is the answer. Or in word form, 10 and 575 thousandths. So Shy, do you now know all about multiplying a decimal by a decimal?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, how do you use math at work?
We don't.
Okay. Well, thank you. Well, thank you, Shy, for helping me with Math Corners.
I'm sorry.
Now it's time for the Heart of a Lion. As you know, we talk about the qualities of living by the heart of a lion, which stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and nobility. Well, this week, we're going to talk about obedience. For me, I think obedience is being fully committed to doing what is pleasing to God. Well, the qualities of obedience are compliance with a good attitude and respect for the laws. Well, you know when someone is obedient when they follow instructions willingly and truly. Well, this week I was watching a super big football game on TV, and we had food and drinks, and it was so much fun. But I had school the next day. So I decided to take my shower after the game because, well, I wanted to play around. And well, around 9 p.m., my mom told me to go ahead and take the shower even though the game was still going. I really wanted to watch the game, but my dad reminded me of obedience, and I took a shower with a smile on my face. I did get to see the end of the game with Tampa Bay winning. Whoop, whoop. But then I went straight to bed. Well, Shy, did you see or use obedience at all this week?
I actually did.
How?
Well, I was instructed to do something that I really did not care to do. However, I knew that it was important to do. So I just followed the instructions anyway, with a smile on my face.
Well, of all of the Heart of a Lion virtues, which is your favorite?
I would say leadership, because you never know who's watching you.
Okay. And well, we should always try and be lion strong in everything we do.
That is true.
And that's our show, folks. I'm going to thank the one, the only, the amazing Shy Flowers for being on my show.
You're welcome.
It has been so much fun talking with you today, and I hope I never have to see you at your job.
I hope not either. Well, I will say that you can see me on my website, www.thefactoryofself.org, or follow me on social media. Facebook, I'm under Shy Flowers.
Okay. Well, and be sure to listen to us next week on the Tiberius Show. Your host, Tiberius Boy!
The Tiberius Show is not filmed in front of a live studio audience. Executive producer, Joseph Boy. Production editor, Pierre Laguerre. Green Room manager, Danny Boy. And your program host, Tiberius Boy. The Tiberius Show is copyright 2018.